Well, hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Shane Shed. Unfortunately, we've got a diesel leak from the Disco, so let's get into it and see what's going on. So of course all this stuff only ever happens when I'm away at work, but anyway, first things first, we'll get this cover off and I'll have a quick look, see what's going on. See if I can see anything obvious. Alright, so my wife done a pretty good job, and she was the one driving, and it was just around the corner. She noticed it was smoking and leaking diesel everywhere. She said it was on the right hand side of the engine, so that's where I'm going to look first. I'm hoping it's just the leak off, injector leak off line, but I can't really see anything obvious at the moment, so we're going to have to start it up and see what happens. See if we can see a leak source. Injector leak off line. I don't know if we're going to see it, but let's see if we can get the camera in. Alright, shut it off. Alright, so it's been about 3 years. I've actually done this job before. I'm just going to sort of be going from memory a bit from what it was last time to replace it. But yeah, first things first, we're going to pull these little side, I don't know what you call them, acoustic covers, or not really acoustic covers, but yeah. Anyway. Alright, so the injector bleed off lines basically come out from each injector and run up through to the temperature sensor either side, basically all three. So the replacement part, this is a 1386505. I got this for locally in stock for about $350. So not really that cheap for what it is, but it's not the most expensive thing either, so probably just a word of caution as well when checking for these leaks. Really, it's either going to be the injector bleed off lines or it's going to be a high pressure line. So just exercise a bit of caution when inspecting the high pressure lines, because if there's like a crack in one of these lines that's misting out, it's going to be coming out at quite high pressure, and you don't want to get diesel or that sort of pressures on your skin, because you may risk a injection injury. So yeah, definitely not ideal at all. So I'm just having a look at this. I'm pretty sure this coolant crossover pipe, I'm going to have to pull out of the way, especially for access for this injector down here. So yeah. Anyway, let's rip into it. Obviously this coolant crossover, we've got 2 bolts on this side. The bolts heads are on the stupid side at the back of the engine rather than the front, which would make it easier to get to, but it is what it is. I don't tighten these up terribly much for this reason. So it's a hell of a lot easier to undo if these aren't particularly tight. There's one out. One more, and I'll probably just pull this whole thing out. I think it's just going to be a little bit easier to schedule yourself a little bit. There was as much room to work as possible here. Alright, with those 2 bolts out, it's just clip here on the edge of the hose, and another one over here, just hose clips, and then we can kind of wiggle this whole thing out. It's a bit of a bitch, but yeah, it's doable. Alright, so got that coolant pipe out from this end. Takes a bit of wiggling, as you probably see. But next thing, we'll get the injector harness sort of out of the way. We've probably got a few other bits and pieces we'll get out of the way as well. So just unclip some of these, wiring, and just flip them out of the way. This side on my case is going to be probably a lot easier than the other side from memory. But yeah. Now, sometimes these plugs have been left in for a while, they get a bit hard to move. It's one of those things I'm trying to be careful not to break the retaining clips and all that goes with them. So this bank, I've got all the injector plugs out. I've also taken out the MAF sensor plug, the fuel temperature sensor plug, which is that little harness, the glow plug harness, so that's just up out of the way. Now I'm just going to get this tray up. I can't remember whether there was a couple other little bits and pieces, but anyway, lever this straight up. One side loose, we'll move on the other side. So we've got the left side bank out, so we also want to take out the plug from the oil pressure sensor. I forget which one this one is. Obviously we talked about the glow plug harness. Just loosen off these PCV hoses as well, just so you get all these harnesses out. And clear. And lift it up out of the way, hopefully, without breaking it. So I didn't really film much of all the unplugging these injector plugs. It is kind of dull to watch, especially when it takes me like half an hour to get them all off. I don't know about the rest of you, but these get a little stiff after a while with weight, so that should be gives us enough movement there to get into them. So you can see our leak off line through to each injector. We should be able to get to that side pretty easily, well, at least easier now. Also, want to pay attention to these, give them a decent clean up before we start getting into it, because we don't want to push any dirt back into these injector lines once we've got everything apart. Alright, so just stuck at work doing the editing for this video, so just finishing off. I'm going to do this as a multi-part video. I think we're 8 minutes in now already, so yeah, it's going to end up a pretty long video if I do it all in one hit. So apologies if you're waiting for this video in order to get this job done, but it's probably going to be next week, I guess, at this stage, before I get the next part lay up. So if you're waiting for the next part, then don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and that way you won't miss out on the next part when I upload it. And I hope you enjoyed this video so far. If you enjoyed it, give us a thumbs up, all that stuff, and I guess I'll see you in the next one. So cheers, guys.